Y'all often hear me say that whenever it comes to me doing these deep dives, a lot of the times it comes from inspiration, or maybe it's something that popped up in my head. Well, this is one of those times when it came from an inspiration, and the inspiration came from this video that popped up on my recommendeds on YouTube. And I don't know how it ended up happening because I never even heard of this channel before, but the title stuck out to me, and it was called "I Thought I Was Exiled from My Race Until," and then I looked at the thumbnail, and that's the person right there whose channel it is. I believe their channel name is called Snatch 5 Times. It's SNATCH, the number 5 and the letter X. And I looked at the picture, the thumbnail, and it said lame, nerdy, corny, ugly, whitewash, weird. And I'm thinking to myself, the first thing that popped up in my mind was, oh God, it's another one of those videos where you have a black person who claims that they were bullied so badly as a kid that when they grew up, they didn't deal with their pain and their trauma, that they ended up starting to throw black people under the bus because they just saw one black person or a couple of black people as a kid and just decided to indict the whole race of doing that. But good thing I did not do that, and I listened to the entire video, which I believe it was about a little over 16 minutes long, and it was actually a very good video, and it was actually kind of a response video to another commentary that I saw from somebody else that actually kind of did what I assumed this video was going to do. But I just wanted to give a shout out to this individual. I don't know if they'll see this video or not, but in case they're watching, you were the inspiration for this deep dive that I'm doing right now, and it's one that I've never thought about actually doing, but it's something I wanted to address because I feel like it's been a problem in the black community for a very, very, very long time. And I think this is also what inspires a lot of these individuals out here to become the tap dancers that they are. But of course, you know, the monetary gain that they get from it is going to play a huge role in it as well. So let's go ahead and just get into the deep dive. Today, I'm going to talk about something I've noticed over and over again. The way some black people explain their decision to distance themselves from the black community, or worse, align themselves with anti-black rhetoric. A lot of times their story goes back to childhood. They'll say that they were bullied by other black kids, excluded, or told that they weren't black enough. And that pain, instead of being worked through, becomes the foundation for them saying, this is why I don't mess with black people. But you have to ask yourself this question. Is that really an excuse? Let's break it down. These stories usually sound way too familiar, and some of you probably have heard them. Things like I was too dark skinned and other black kids teased me, or I was light skinned and people said that I wasn't really black, or I liked school or I spoke a certain way and I was told I was acting white, or I was African/Caribbean or first generation born and I got teased for my culture. Now these are real experiences and they do indeed hurt, and no one is denying that. But what often happens is people take those moments of rejection and turn them into a lifelong grudge against blackness itself. Here's where I believe the problem lies. Instead of understanding why those things happen, people project their pain outward. They decide black people are just hateful, or I never fit in, so I don't owe the community a damn thing. But in reality, these experiences are symptoms of something bigger. Colorism, classism, and the idea that proper English means acting or speaking white didn't even come from black people. Those are legacies of white supremacy, colonialism, and the way society teaches us to police each other. When kids internalize those messages, it plays out as bullying, but the root issue is not blackness. It's the system shaping how we see ourselves and each other. If that pain never gets worked through, it can grow into something deeper. Some turn into respectability politics, which I loathe, where they say, I'm not like those black people, I'm one of the good ones. Others go further into it and say, openly blaming black people for all of the society's problems. And in the worst case scenarios, they ally themselves with white supremacist ideals, becoming a voice that says, see, even black people admit that blackness is the problem, or black culture is the problem. What started out as bullying at school becomes fuel for betraying your own community way into adulthood. And this is dangerous because personal hurt gets weaponized. When someone with a platform says, I was bullied by black people, therefore black people are broken, they're not just telling their story, they are reinforcing racist stereotypes and giving white supremacy the more ammunition that it does not need. The narrative shifts from I was hurt by individuals to the entire race is flawed. And that's exactly the kind of thinking that keeps systemic oppression right in its place. Here's what's missing from those I was bullied stories in my perspective. Every culture has bullying. Every kid who stands out will get teased. And most importantly, those cruel behaviors often come from insecurity, generational trauma, and survival under systemic racism. So yes, those experiences are indeed painful, but blaming all black people for them is not only unfair, it's also very dishonest. It erases the real source of the problem, the system that taught kids to hate skin tone, accents, or intelligence in the first place. At the end of the day, being bullied or excluded does not justify betraying your people, because when you turn that hate into anti-black ideology, you end up not being a victim anymore, and then you end up just becoming a tool for the very systems that caused the pain in the first place. And y'all know what we say about tools. They can and most likely will be broken when they are done being used. Cruelty from a few does not define an entire race, and being hurt by your own does not give you the right to sell your own community out. That's the real conversation. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more deep dives, as I've been honestly loving to do every now and then, as y'all can see. And also, I want to hear your perspective on this. Have you seen people use their childhood pain as an excuse to turn on their community? I know I have. I've seen it myself firsthand. Shout out to everybody for watching. Make sure y'all hit the like, comment, and share and subscribe button, and I will talk to you in the next one.